Supreme Court delivers a stunning blow to politicians and orders restoring corruption cases against public office holders. In a majority to one verdict on Friday, 15 September 2023, Supreme Court struck down some amendments made to the National Accountability Ordinance (NAO) 1999 during the tenure of the previous Pakistan Democratic Movement (PDM) led government, headed by CJP Bandial. The three-member bench, which also included Justice Mansoor Ali Shah and Justice Ijazul Hassan, held more than 15th hearing on the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI chairman Imran Khan petition against the amendments, and they reserved the judgment on the hearing on 5th September. CJP Bandial had promised that a short and sweet verdict would be announced before he retired. His last day as the apex court's top judge is 17 September. In the majority verdict, the Supreme Court restored graft cases against public office holders that were closed on following the amendments. The apex court struck down some amendments made to the National Accountability Ordinance (NAO) 1999. According to the verdict, the petitions against Nab amendments was declared admissible by the majority decisions, restoring all closed inquiries filed with the anti-graft body. The apex court ordered restoring all graft cases worth less than 500 million rupees that were closed down against the political leaders belonging to different political parties and public office holders, and declared the amendments void. Furthermore, the court directed the NAB to return all records related to cases to relevant courts within 7 days. The verdict on Khan appeal further added that the NAB amendments and the questions affected the right of the public listed in the constitutions. The verdict has some far-reaching consequences, as the striking down of the amendments would mean that references against some of the country political bigwig will once again land in the accountability courts. These include the Toshakhana reference against Pakistan Muslim League PMLN Nawaz Sharif, Pakistan People's Party co-chairman Asif Ali Zardari, and former Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani, along with the Al-Lanji reference against former Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi, and the rental power reference against former Prime Minister Raja Parvez Ashraf. However, Justice Shah issued a dissenting note in the NAB amendments case. The NAB amendments not only reduced the 4-year terms of the NAB chairman and the Bureau's prosecutors general to the 3 years, but also placed all regular bodies functioning in the country out of NAB domain. Furthermore, the changes include that a 3-year term be set for the judges of the accountability courts, and the courts would be bound to decide a case within 1 year. Challenging the amendments, Khan approached the apex court and petitions that the amendments be set down on grounds that they were unconstitutional. The petitions argued that amendments to Section 2, 4, 5, 6, 25 and 26 of the NAB law are against the constitutions, along with the amendments made to Section 14, 15, 21 and 23. Furthermore, Khan argued that amendments in the NAB law are contrary to the fundamental rights of Article 9, 14, 19, 24, 25. All these amendments made in the NAB law should be declared null and void. The PTI chairman had requested to hear Khan plea. A special 3-member bench was formed on 15 July 2022. The first hearing of the case against the NAB amendments was held on 19 July last year after Khan's lawyer Khwaja Haris filed an application 184/3 against the NAB amendments. Both the federations and NAB were made parties in the petitions. Corruption in Pakistan is widespread and extends to every sector from government to judiciary, police, health service and education. Corruption distorts economic decisions, making deter investment, undermines competitiveness and ultimately weakens economic growth of a country. That is why the problems are long-standing, and despite ongoing calls for reforms and many attempts to improve the situation, there is little evidence of progress. The former government of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf Pakistan Justice Movement, led by cricketer turned politician Imran Khan, vowed to uproot corruption from all sectors. However, there is little success in bringing accountability across the board. The promise to build a welfare state on the principle of Riyasat-e-Madina, a state of Medina, has been enshrined by Khan government, but there is little success on practical grounds. The Dominion of Pakistan was created as a result of the Pakistan movement in 1947. Upon gaining independence, Pakistan inherited a strong bureaucracy from the British Raj. There has since been no major change in this bureaucratic setup since it was first implemented by British. Habit reforms were proposed by the Musharraf regimes in 2007. This has led many to speculate that corruption has seeped into the higher echelons of bureaucracy, where corruption cases are mostly reported against irregular and ex-cadre appointments. It was by the late 1960s that the bureaucracy started being portrayed as an instrument of operations. In multiple reports published by the World Bank, the Pakistani bureaucracy was seen as being rife with corruption, inefficient and bloated in size, with an absence of accountability and resistance to change. The bureaucratic influence was strong in the western province of Pakistan, while the eastern province retained a majority of the populations. On 22nd November 1954, bureaucratic administrators moved a resolution to merge the four western provinces into a single unit called West Pakistan. This led to public outcry in East Pakistan, who felt that they were being misrepresented and systematically marginalized by the land-owning Punjabi Muslims elites who enjoyed higher bureaucratic positions at that time. This led to the secession of East Pakistan into the separate nation state of Bangladesh and lay witness to the corrupt malpractices of the Punjabi elite in West Pakistan. After Zulfikar Ali Bhutto came into power in 1973, he introduced a planned economic system to revitalize the stagnant economy. This led to the introductions of the nationalizations program, bringing entire private industrial corporations under the government ownership. In 1974, Bhutto cancelled the fourth five-year plans by passing the recommendations of the Planning Commission, focusing entirely on broadening government control over private business enterprises. In doing so, Bhutto's government began the politicization of economic planning. Political interference opened doors for corrupt political practices to seep into the nation's economic planning processes. The nationalizations program badly affected the reputations of the Pakistan People's Party. Accumulated losses of up to rupees 254 million were reported, with several instances of overstaffing and inefficient productivity in heavy mechanical industries. By 1976, the state had been hijacked by the group and individuals trying to accumulate wealth by redistributing resources from public enterprises to private individuals. Public enterprises become a device to extend political patronage. to those that the regimes favored to pay political debts or to accumulate power. Bhutto's nationalizations program lost its appeal towards the end of his government terms, and the demand for denationalizations gained more currency. The successive government of military chief and President Muhammad Ziaul released a white paper that led to the creations of the commissions under Pakistan Industrial Credit and Investment Corporations, PICIC, to reverse earlier nationalizations efforts. Not much was accomplished in such manner, and just 3 enterprises, including the state leader Nawaz Sharif, aggregated for catering of business, were at any point denationalized and gotten back to their proprietors. Many contend that Sharif was leaned towards in this cycle, since he was a political protege of the military dictator at the helm. In 2012, Transparency International calculated that Pakistan had lost more than 8.5 trillion, $94 billion in corruption, tax evasions, and bad governance in People's Party led coalition's government from 2008 to 2013. In the 2022 Corruption Perceptions Index, Pakistan received a score of 27, were the highest scoring country worldwide, received a score of 90, the lowest scoring country 12, and the average score was 43. Regionally, the highest scoring among the Asia Pacific countries was 87, the lowest score 17, and the average score was 45. On 9th May 2023, former Prime Minister Imran Khan was arrested on the charge of the selling state gift during his tenure, leading to mass civilian protest at his arrest. Over 100 corruption charges have been registered against Khan since he was ousted from office in April 2022 on a vote of non-confidence. Khan has asserted that every one of the arguments recorded against him are pointless and without merit. The Supreme Court of Pakistan pronounced his capture unlawful and he was delivered. Khan proceeded to get bail in numerous cases, and as cases were excused by the legal courts, extra cases keep on being heaped on, supporting Khan's story that there is a political plan to neutralize him.